What do you actually believe about the toxic relationship? The relationship that you're with right now, how do you actually know what's true? How do you know what's real? Because you might have been even doubting yourself, questioning yourself of what reality actually is because of all the lies, all the abuse, all the gaslighting that you might have experienced right here, right now. I want to talk to you today a little bit about truth versus facts and a little bit of the nuances, the difference between it, because you might be questioning your reality. You might be questioning what's actually happening with your relationship. Are you in this place? Are you in a place where you're not sure what's actually real, what's actually happening? Does he love you? Does he care about you? Is it true? Is it not true? What do you actually know? What do you actually believe right here, right now? Many times when people are stuck in a toxic relationship, they don't understand how to actually be free. And so when I'm talking today, I want you to think of your relationship. When we talk about your relationship, when we talk about the toxicity that you're facing, that keeps getting put on you, and over, you keep trying to figure out what's the truth, but he never tells you. He never actually opens up and actually shares his heart, his vulnerability, the truth that's actually deep inside, because he doesn't want to involve you in that. He might be scared and he's protecting himself. He might be thinking he's protecting you from all the pain that you're going to find out once he actually tells you the truth. That he's been cheating on you. That he's been... What is true? What is real? All of a sudden, the wool comes off your eyes and you start to realize, wait a second, over the past 5, 10, 20 years, was any of it real? Because it starts to disintegrate in front of your eyes. The hard part is, what do you actually believe? What do you actually know to be true? Because you start doubting yourself so many times and in so many different ways. And when you doubt yourself, you feel this anxiety and this stress that just rises up in your chest. Wondering, did I make the right decision? Am I doing the right thing? What I actually need to do? There's so much confusion and guilt and shame that comes out of this, leaving you left just confused. So I want you to consider for a moment that inside of a toxic relationship and inside of your relationship, we're just looking for truth. The problem is truth can't be found with a liar. It seems pretty obvious. But the more you try to find the truth, the more you try to get him honest, there is no truth. He's not willing to actually share what's actually real, what's actually true. And so we try to get you to understand the truth and the reality of the situation. The hard part is truth oftentimes is subjective. Now, what I mean by that is truth being subjective means that you have your truth. You believe certain set of values, certain set of rules, a certain perspective on the world, certain perspective on life, on politics, on education, on medicine, all those things. You have a certain perspective. I have a different perspective. Someone else has a different perspective. He has a different perspective. Everybody does. Everybody has their own truth of what they're believing. Now, in this moment, what gets really difficult is you're trying to figure out, how do I actually figure out the truth of the situation, of the reality, of what I'm dealing with? The problem is you're not going to get truth from him because he's not willing to be honest with you. You're not going to actually get the actual real reality from him because he lives his own fantasy world. He believes a certain version of reality to make himself feel better about himself, to tell himself that he's a good guy while he's still abusing you. He's still making you feel like crap, and he's telling himself, I'm a good guy. I show up. I have a paycheck. I'm here for her. But in reality, he's not. So you're going to find a lot of times that truth gets really subjective. Now, do I think all truth is subjective? No, I don't think all truth is subjective at all. But I think the ultimate truth only comes from God. That's where true transformation can actually take place. If you don't have truth, you can't have transformation. And God is the author of truth. So when we're on this human planet filled with humans, we're left to the place of how do we actually deal and how do we actually figure out the truth? Well, it's hard because my truth and your truth is different. So what we have to go off of is simply just the facts. The facts of the relationship, the facts of what's being done, the evidence, the demonstration, actual just hard evidence saying these are the facts. The hard part is most people run into it and they're like, well, this is my truth. Your truth doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to him, doesn't matter to someone else. But the problem is your truth gets watered down with all different lies and stories and beliefs that get pressed upon it, versus the facts are simply just the facts. Many times people get to a place where they get confused and frustrated, and sometimes they have an angst at working with raw motivation simply because they're worried that they're going to get confronted with truth. And they're going to get confronted and actually exposed and actually see the facts of the relationship. And if they see the facts of the relationship, then they kind of figure, well, I'm probably going to have to do something about it. And it's hard because it's going to make them put themselves in an uncomfortable place. Because otherwise, it means they're content with staying in a shitty relationship. Something that's destroying themselves over and over. Like he keeps cheating on you over and over, and you're like, well, at least it's better than not knowing. At least it's better than like me going to with someone else and having the cycle happen all over again. At least it's better than me starting from scratch. It's better than me going from the divorce and losing half the reality and half the piece of what I have now. There's many different ways that when you try to avoid facts, you fall into your own perception of truth. The problem is the truth that you believe isn't true because it's not based on facts. It's based on fiction and fantasy and stories and ideas and thoughts that you come up with to justify your reality, to justify what you're doing, to justify where you are currently at. But when we start looking at the facts, it starts to paint a different picture of reality. It starts to paint a different picture of where you are and what's going on. Now, many times people are like, I can't figure out the facts. I don't know the facts. I can't tell if he's cheated or not. I can't tell if he's abused me or not. I can't tell if he's lying or not. What we need to understand in this moment is we're not talking about you playing detective. Many of you play detective and you do it excellently. You figured out and you found so many different things, but you still haven't left. You still haven't had a change of how you actually think and perceive. So as a result, you stay stuck. I'm not looking for more people to play detective. I'm looking for more people to be fact finders of their own life. So when you're in a relationship and you're wondering, I don't have the facts that he's cheated on me. It feels like he's cheating on me, but I don't have the facts. Well, let's take a look at the facts of your relationship and how he's showing up for you. How is he showing up being honest? How is he showing up treating you with love and honor and dignity and respect? How is he in his communication? Is it abusive? Is it aggressive? Is he putting you down? Is he belittling you? Is he gaslighting you? See, what I'm trying to get is I'm trying to get to facts. How is he supporting you? Does he support you? Yes or no? Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. How? Give me evidence. Give me facts. The more we get crystal clear on the facts of the situation, the more you can start to be free mentally and emotionally. But the longer you take your truth and you put it on top and you're like, well, it's not that big of a deal. He hasn't actually hit me yet. Like, it'll just blow over. And you'll find ways to excuse it, telling yourself that it's true, but it's actually not. Many of you already know what you say to yourselves to get yourself to stay because you're still in it. You're still in this relationship that has wrecked you mentally and emotionally, that's left you distraught and alone. It's left you confused, wondering if you're the problem, if you're not the problem. It's left you questioning every single thing in your life. And at this point, you're still wondering, should I stay? Should I go? It's because of this piece of avoidance of the facts. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write down 25 facts, 25 things that he's done to you, 25 things of how he's shown up in the relationship or not shown up in the relationship. Write down the evidence. And then look at and understand this is what you're signing up for. This is what you're allowing yourself to continue to experience over and over and over again. Or you can step into a place of where you just go through your truth. And you look at, hey, it's not that big of a deal. This is just in the moment. He's just going through a hard time. He's just emotionally immature. He's just a sex addict. He just has ADHD. You'll find many different ways to excuse abusive behavior. One of the ways that people excuse abusive behavior is they look for the fact that he's not diagnosed. I had this come up on a live the other day when I was talking to several different people, and they were talking about, well, how do you know? What if he's not a narcissist? What if he's just avoidant? And I had to pause him for a minute, and I'm like, okay, what if he is avoidant and he's still abusing you? Does that mean it's okay to stay? What if he is a narcissist and he keeps abusing you? Does that mean it's okay to leave? Because if you're just basing it on the nuances of the words, on the reality of, oh yeah, this guy's a goner, or oh, maybe I can get this person to change, you're still trying to play God. And you're not realizing that you have no control over this other human being. It's not yours to control or manipulate. You are the only person that's in control of you. How you show up, how you react, how you respond, how you grow, how you heal, how you develop, how you transform. It all comes down to you and your willingness to actually deal with the facts of the situation, because the facts are what's going to set you free. Your truth, sometimes with your feelings, will lie to you. It will make it look like it's reality, but in reality, it's not. Because it leaves you stuck in a fantasy world. It leaves you stuck with this guy over and over and over, justifying the abuse, justifying the degrading comments and the thing that he's saying that's belittling you and putting you down. It's making you question who you are, making you question your worth and your decisions, making you think that you're not good enough. If you're in one of these toxic relationships, it's time for you to actually see the truth, to see reality by looking at what are the facts. The goal of what I do is to help equip you with tools and the science to actually see how to be able to discover the facts of your relationship, how to actually have clarity on a day-to-day basis, knowing without a shadow of a doubt what's actually going on. Because if we're not careful, it's easy to drop yourself into your truth, to believe something that's not true so that you feel better about yourself and your situation. Because we're hiding from shame, we're hiding from guilt, the ego is coming up, the image, there's multiple pieces that can affect you. At the end of the day, are you actually looking at the facts or are you avoiding them? Are you looking at the reality, the evidence, the demonstration, how he's demonstrating different things in your life? Are you looking and evaluating that, or are we running away from it? I want to invite you into a conversation for us to be able to talk through where you're at and how to help you actually see and understand the facts. If this video resonates with you with where you are right now, why don't you go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough. There'll be a link down below. Because inside of this, I have a video I want to show you. I want you to sit there for a couple minutes and just watch it. See if it resonates. See if it connects with you. And if it does, fill out the application. Let's talk. But go to rawmotivations.com/breakthrough today.